Shalom Aleichem.
Alaikum shalom.
Aleichem shalom. We are in Miami, Florida. Once again, these United States called America, North America. For the record, we're on YouTube again, being recorded. We're also going to download this video and post it on social medias all over the internet. All over the internet, we're going to post it. We're also on our conference line, which is 831-221-6177. Our conference line, that's being recorded. For the record, today's date, according to our calendar, the solar calendar of Yod Wavhe, is the 15th day of the third month of our solar year 6023. That's correct. And it is the same period of time according to their Gregorian calendar, which is the calendar that's being ruled by Rome, the Vatican, which is also the calendar that's ruling the whole world today. All nations, the Gregorian calendar. So according to that calendar, today is Sunday, May 25th, 2020. May 25th, which is also known in the United States as Memorial Day weekend. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
The Sunday before their Memorial Day. They most certainly have a lot to be memorialized this weekend with other help from what they call the coronavirus, COVID-19, where they are now approaching on their record, according to their record, they are approaching 100,000 people that died of this plague. It's not a virus, it's a plague. But that's on record. I guarantee you more than 120,000 has died as a result of this plague. So with that being said, we have a special message for those who are alive today and who will not suffer this plague. We're going to more or less conduct a music lesson today. But we're not going to go into the deep part of the musical lesson. We're not going to share our song on social media. But we're going to announce to the world that we have our song, and we're going to give a musical lesson to those who are obedient and who are with me here in Miami, Florida. And to begin with, we're going to read from the book called Ezekiel, easy for God of the earth to reveal the books. Ezekiel, the Elohim, chapter 28, as we bring to you another testimony from the Celestial Lodge, as we testify to ye and to you that Yod Wavhe is God, Elohim. Yod Wavhe is Elohim, which is also God in English that you know of. Yod Wavhe is the God of all gods, Elohim of all Elohims, Lord of all lords, King of all kings. Yod Wavhe is great, good, mighty, and terrible, just to name a few. Yod Wavhe is the true and only living God, according to Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 10. He is the God that lives. As I speak live and on this recording, whenever you decide to see this, whatever day it may be, or whatever hour it may be, or minute, Yod Wavhe is now hovering above the earth, this planet. He's hovering above this planet. He may be inside, landed someplace by the time you read this. By the time you see this, when you read the words of this video, He may be landed.
Mm.
But we invite you to join us for a little while. We're not going to take up too much of your day or evening. And right now on the East Coast of the United States, we're looking at the clock that says 6:27 in the p.m. How about that? 6:27 in the p.m. So we're going to begin, as I mentioned a moment ago. We're going to ask that you, before we do, take out your study tools if you're going to join us. You're going to need your King James Version Holy Bible, your Strong's Exhaustive Concordance, a couple of dictionaries, encyclopedias. We're going to share some musical notes that you may want to confirm. Encyclopedia. We have our own. And we're also going to ask that you write with us today. A little writing exercise. So grab something to write with, an ink pen or a pencil, something to write on. And right on your table, just find a piece of paper or something, envelope, junk mail, right on the back of that. That way, when you follow these instructions that we're going to ask you to write something, you'll be able to see it not only with your eyes for vision, but you'll see them with your mind. With your mind. Follow along with me, ma'am, as I read, beginning at verse 1 of Ezekiel chapter 28. As I share with ye and with you that the word of Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh came again unto Mem, me, Mem, you, as it is today, saying, Son of man, that's what he calls me. Son of man, that's what he calls me. See, Mem. Say unto the prince of Tyrus. Now, who was that? I'm going to pause here for a moment because you do not know who Tyrus is today. If you do, then I might as well shut this down and go turn it off and go watch a baseball game or something. Oh, wait, there's no baseball, is there?
Reruns.
Oh, maybe I can watch football.
Reruns.
Oh, no football.
Reruns, though.
Oh, they got reruns. Is that rerun from What's Happening with Raj? Is that the rerun you're speaking of? What's Happening with Raj? No, that's not. Oh, reruns on television.
Right.
Baseball, basketball, and football. Football, okay. But I'm not going to turn this off, so I don't have to worry about watching any of that. But I'm looking for someone to share with me or tell me who is Tyrus today. Let me give you a hint. See, today on this planet is round, right? Circle, 360 degrees, right? 360 degrees. So if you place this planet after the T and between the T and the Y, before the Y, you have what in English? You follow me? Let me repeat that.
Yes, please.
Look at Tyrus in your Bible. I'm on verse 1. It's spelled Tyrus, Tyrus. This earth is round, 360 degrees, which is a circle. So put a circle in between the T and the Y. What do you have? Come on now. You have toy. And then you have us. Come on now, stay with me. You have someone who's playing with you as a toy, like a toy or us. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, that T, that toy, that T, creates the word or the name Trump. T creates Trump. T for Trumps. Trumps as this, apostrophe S, Trumps. The Y is for years. The R is for ruling. And the US is for us. So now you have Trump's years for ruling us. You got it?
Yeah.
Trump's years ruling us. Tyrus. And then what? But those 4 years are hard as rock. So that means this word Tyrus, you think it's a name. Tyrus, it means a rock. R-O-C-K, rock. Reference, the Strong's Concordance, H, 6865, 6865. You saw that. And it created the Hebrew word known as sor. Sor. Because it's sore. See, not S-O-A-R, though it should be S-O-A-R, but S-O-R-E. It's spelled in English S-O-R-E. There's also a homophone for S-O-A-R, sore. In your mind, sore from his ruling?
Of course. Yeah.
Here is what the Hebrew character looks like that creates that word, Sade. This is Sade. Yeah. That's Hebrew, that's Sade. That created the word sore. You got that? All right. It is spelled from right to left, Sade Resh. Just two words, Sade Resh. And remember, Sade, this looks like a Y, doesn't it?
Yes.
Doesn't it look like a Y?
Yeah.
Okay. That looks like a Y. Keep that in mind. That Sade looks like a Y. I'm going to read on. I'm going to go to verse 2. Thus saith Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, God, Elohim, because thy heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, Donald Trump. I sit in the seat of God. He said that. I think he's God. I'm going to repeat that. Because thine heart is lifted up on Capitol Hill, and thou hast said, quote, I am God, end quote. I am the chosen. Didn't he say I'm the chosen one?
He said that.
I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas. Yet thou art a man. You are a man and not God. Though thou set thine heart as the heart of God, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches. A billionaire, hotels, casinos, stores, and has gotten gold and silver into our treasures of money, planes and jets, mansions. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic of all your fleets, wealth, hast thou increased thine riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. But therefore, thus saith mine Ab, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, the God of the Hebrews, because thou hast set thine heart at the heart of God, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. And you want to be bright as a shining star. Hallel, or Lucifer, coming from Isaiah chapter 14, beginning at verse 12. They shall bring thee down to the pit of hell, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. But thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am God. But thou shalt be a man, and no God, in the hand of him that slayeth thee. Thou shalt die the deaths of uncircumcised by the hand of strangers. For I have spoken it. says Mem Yod Kaf Yod Wafe, the God of the earth. You have to know how to read this.
Yeah.
Moreover, the word of Yod came unto me, Mem, saying, Son of man, Micah, take a lamentation upon the king of Toys R Us, of Trump that's ruling us, of the years of ruling us, and say unto him, Thus says Mem Yod Kaf Yod Wafe, the God of the earth, thou sittest up the sun, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. Thou hast been at Eden with me, the garden of Yod Wafe. And you know you were. I repeat, Trump, thou hast been in Eden, the garden of Yod Wafe. Every precious stone was thy covering, which includes the sardius, the topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold. The workmanship of thy tabrets and of thy pipes was prepared in thee in the day that thou was created. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and you were. And I have set thee so. Thou was upon the holy mountain of Yod Wafe, and thou hast walked up and down in the earth and to and fro, as Satan in the midst of the stones of fire. Thou was perfect in thy ways from the day that thou was created as an angel of such large, till iniquity was found in thee, as you tried to overpower heaven and take a third of the angels with you. But by the multitude of thy merchandise, they have filled the midst of thee with violence, and thou hast sinned. Therefore, I will cast thee as profane out of the mountain and the government of Yod Wafe as I did, and I will destroy thee, O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire. Thine heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness, as the bright and morning star. I will cast thee to the ground. I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee. Thou hast defiled thy sanctuaries by the multitude of thine iniquities, by the iniquity of thy traffic. Therefore will I bring forth a fire from the midst of thee. It shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to ashes upon this planet, in the sight of all them that behold thee, that your Republican voters and leaders and followers. And they that know thee among the people shall be astonished at thee. Thou shalt be a terror, and never shalt thou be any more. And again the word of Yod Wafe came unto me, saying, Son of man, Micah, set thy face against Zidon. That's all you see, Zidon. Spelled in Hebrew from right to left, Sadeh, Yud, Dalet, Wab, Nun, Sofi. Again, that begins with Sadeh. Here's Sadeh again, it looks like a Y. This word, Sidon, in verse 21, is also created from that Hebrew character. And this Sadeh, this word means hunting. It means hunting by the hunter. That's what this word in English means, Sidon. It means hunting by the hunter. So who is that? We can even use plural, hunters. Who are they? There are men that are in the interior zone. I said, let me repeat that. I said they are men that are in the interior zone, that is read in reverse. as ZI. That stands for Zone Interior. That's being ruled today by Don, D-O-N. Do you see it? ZI, Zone Interior, being ruled today by Don, D-O-N. That's short for Donald, D-O-N-A-L-D. Now, all of them are his men that are now hunting Yehuda, Zidon. And since they are doing that, then here is what I am being told to do to all of ye by mine of Yodid Wavhe, as we continue on in verse 23, actually verse 21 at the end. I'm going to prophesy against you. No, I'm say prophesy against it. So I'm going to prophesy against you today. And I'm going to say, thus saith Yodid Wavhe, even Mem Yod Kafir Wavhe, of such large. Behold, I am against thee, O Zidon, O Zone Interior of Don, and I will bring fire and hell upon thee, and I will be glorified in the midst of thee. Right after you read my letters that I sent to thee, and they shall know, especially after you read my letters, that I am Mem Yod Kafir Wavhe, the son of the true and only living God, Yodid Wavhe. I'm going to prove that again.
Praise you,
Don't you see it says son of man? I didn't say it. It said, you see it. Mem, me. When I shall have executed judgment in her. I said, when I shall have executed judgments in her. See, that's the United States of America. That's who this her is. Reference Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. Come out of her, my people, and be not partakers of her sins, and receive not of her plagues, of the 5G, and the heat, the fire, and shall be sanctified in her. In the verse 22, verse 23, for I will send into her pestilence, the coronavirus, COVID-19 and 20 and 21, and blood into her streets as a result of martial law and riots and civil war against one another. And the wounded shall be judged in the midst of her by the sword upon her own every side. And they shall know that I am Mem Yod Kaf Yodid Wavhe, and that the God of the Hebrews is with us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yodid Wavhe.
Yes, sir. That's right. Yes, sir.
And there shall be no more a prickling briar unto the house of Yishra Yahweh, nor any grieving thorn of all that are round about them, that despised them. And they shall know that I am Mem Yod Kaf Yodid Wavhe, the God of the earth. Thus saith Yodid Wavhe, even Mem Yod Kaf Yodid Wavhe. That's why you have Lord and God there like that. It's like I, even I. When I shall have gathered the house of Yishra Yahweh for the people among whom they are scattered today across this planet, and shall be sanctified in them in the sight of the heathen, then shall they dwell in their land that I have given to my servant Yochab. And they shall dwell safely therein, and shall build houses, even the back of houses, and plant vineyards along the fence. Yeah. They shall dwell with confidence. When I have executed judgments upon all those that despise them round about them, and they shall know that I am Mem Yod Kaf Yod Wav He, and Yod He Wav He, their God, Elohim.
Yes.
Period. This is prophecy that shall soon come to pass. And we are now in the final stages. Now turn to Isaiah chapter 42. Isaiah chapter 42. And we read with me beginning at verse 1. Isaiah chapter 42. 42. Read with me beginning at verse 1. Behold, my servant, whom I uphold, mine elect, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. He shall not cry, nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street. Unless they play the recording out there on their own. A bruised reed shall he not break, because it was already upon his head over 2,000 years ago. It will not break. And the smoking flax shall he not quench, non-smoker. He shall bring forth judgment unto truth. He shall not fail, nor be discouraged, till he have set judgment in this planet. And the isles of the Caribbean and of Europe and all the nations and the seas round about shall wait for his law. Thus saith Elohim, Yod He Wav He, the God of the Hebrews, he that created the heavens and stretched them out, he that spread forth the earth, the planet, and that which cometh out of it, he that giveth breath unto the people upon it, and spirit to them that walk therein. I, Mem Yod Kaf Yod Wav He, the word of Yod Wav He made flesh, have called thee in righteousness. And Yod Wav He has called thee in righteousness.
Yes.
And will hold thine hand, even if it's across the street. And I will keep thee.
Yes.
And give thee for a covenant of the people, and for a light of the Gentiles. To open the blind eyes, and to bring out the prisoners from the prison of South Florida, Central Florida, and all of the other 49 states of this country. And that you must let them go. Let all of them go that are Hobbs and believes has returned to their God, Yod He Wav He, the God of the Hebrews, his sons and daughters, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. I am Yod He Wav He, even Mem Yod Kaf Yod Wav He. That is my name. I repeat, Mount Ab said, my name, I am Yod He Wav He. That is my name, and I am Mem Yod Kaf Yod Wav He. That is my name, and my glory will I give to another.
Yes.
Neither my praise to graven image. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. I declare before thou spring forth, and before they spring forth, I tell you of them. So what you must do today, as you learn this song, you must sing to Yod He Wav He. Sing to Yod He Wav He a new song.
There it is.
And his praise from the end of this planet, of the earth. Ye that go down to the sea, and all that is therein, the isles and the inhabitants thereof. Let the wilderness and the cities thereof lift up their voice. The villages that Kedar doth inhabit over in the Middle East. Let the inhabitants of the rock sing. Tyrus, Sidon. Let them shout from the top of the mountains of the governments. And let them give glory to Yodewave and declare his praise in the islands of the Caribbean, the Bahamas, of Jamaica, of Crete, Greece, all over this planet, China and Asia, all the islands. Give praises and declare to our God, our Elohim, Yodewave.
Yes.
Lord.
Yodewave shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yeah, roar, he shall prevail against his enemies. Why? Because I have long time holding my peace. I have been still, like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. I will make waste mountains and hills and drop all their herbs, and I will make the rivers islands and floods across this nation. And I will dry up the pools in heat with the sun. And I will bring the blind by a way that they knew not. I will lead them in paths of righteousness for my name's sake, that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them, and not forsake them. They shall be turned back under the power of Re, R-E. They shall be greatly ashamed that trust in graven images, a crucifix around their necks, that say to the molded images, ye are our gods. Jesus. Hear, ye deaf, and look, ye blind, that you may see. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as Yodewave's servant? Seeing many things, but thou observest not, opening the ears, but he heareth not. Yodewave is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith, restore. Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not Yodewave? He against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. Therefore, he had poured upon him the fury of his anger and the strength of battle, and it has set him on fire round about in the spaceships. Yet he knew not, and it burned him. Yet he laid it not to heart. End quote. End of
Praise
Praise the Lord. Now I want someone to read Psalm chapter 66. Turn to Psalm chapter 66, Psalm, the 66th Psalm. Read verses 1, 2, 3, and 4, please. Here is a new day. Here is your song.
Quote. Make a joyful noise unto Mem Yod Cup.
Do what?
Yod-Wah-Peh.
We had a piece of that yesterday.
Yes, we did.
And we're going to have another piece again.
Praise Yod-Wah-Peh.
What kind of noise? Say that again, please.
A joyful noise
How much? Who?
unto Mem Yod Cup. Yod-Wah-Peh.
And who?
All ye lands.
All your lands. What's the first word of verse 2?
Sing
Sing.
forth the honor of his name.
Yes. That's my Ab's name. Yod-Wah-Peh. Make what?
Make his praise glorious.
You know you got that right. Verse 3, please.
Say unto Mem Yod Cup. Yod-Wah-Peh.
Say unto
Yes,
Yod-Wah-Peh.
Yod-Wah-Peh.
Say unto Yod-Wah-Peh. What?
How terrible art thou in thy works.
Good gracious.
Through the greatness of thy power shall thine enemies submit themselves unto thee.
Good gracious.
All the earth
How much?
shall worship. All the earth
Shall do what?
shall worship
And shall what?
and shall sing praise. And shall sing unto
You
thee.
got that right. Why?
They shall sing to thy name.
That's what they sing unto.
Selah.
Praise the Lord.
Praise Yod-Wah-Peh.
No one outside of this house knows that mystery. Neither did anyone inside this house know that mystery before yesterday of that song. Read verse 5, please. Wait, why? Why are you going to read verse 5? To bring in hey. And to bring in hey twice. Remember? Read verse 5, please.
Come and see the works of Yod-Wah-Peh. He is terrible in his doing toward the children of men.
Praise the Lord.
Praise Yod-Wah-Peh.
Now go to chapter 33. Stay in Psalm for a minute. Go to chapter 33, read verses 1 through 5. Here we are again. 1 through 5.
Same reader.
Yeah, same reader, please. Same reader. The voice of another angel from the self-love.
33.
Read verse 1, 2, 3, 4. Read verse 1 through 5, please.
Quote, rejoice in Yod-Wah-Peh, O ye righteous, for praise is comely for the upright.
Yes.
Praise Yod-Wah-Peh with harp.
With a harp. You got harps? Get your harps out.
Sing to him with the psalmistry.
You got the strings and psaltery. Sing of the psaltery. And what?
And an instrument of 10 strings.
Guitars. Bass guitars.
Sing to him a new song.
What kind of song?
New.
Don't be bringing no old songs. No old songs.
Play skillfully with a loud noise.
Yes. Verse 4.
For the word of Yod-Wah-Peh.
The word of
is
Yod-Wah-Peh is right.
And all his works are done in truth.
Yes, they are. I bear witness.
He habiteth righteousness and judgment. The earth is full of the goodness of Yod-Wah-Peh.
Praise the Lord.
Praise Yod-Wah-Peh.
Wow. Now you got to read verse 6. Why? Why are you reading verse 6? To bring in wah. Remember the why?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know why. Now read verse 6 and bring in wah.
By the word of Yod-Wah-Peh.
By the what?
By the word.
Of Yod-Wah-Peh.
Praise Yod-Wah-Peh.
What?
Were the heavens made,
Uh-huh.
and all the host of them by the breath of his mouth.
Praise the Lord.
Praise Yod-Wah-Peh.
We read that before. But there's a little mystery to that. Now go to chapter 40. Chapter 40. Why are you reading 40? 40.
Ew.
To bring in and welcome the number value of Mem. The Elohim of water.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Start at verse 1, please. You're going to read the whole chapter. 40. What did you do? And not only that, you're reading out loud so others can hear you, but you are reading for everyone that waited on Yod-Wah-Peh patiently. Read together verse 1, please.
Quote, I waited patiently for Yorewape,
Uh-huh.
and he inclined unto me and
Yeah.
heard my cry.
Yes.
He brought me up also out of a horrible pit.
Is that not true?
Yes, sir.
I've been witness.
Read on.
Out of the miry clay,
Mhm.
and set my feet upon a rock,
Didn't he do that? Read
Yes,
on.
he did. Right.
And
and
then what?
established my goings.
Wow. Read on.
And he hath put a new song in my mouth,
Excuse me?
even praise unto our God, our Elohim, Mem Yokuf Yoriwape.
Yes.
No.
Read on. Read on.
Many shall see it and fear, and shall trust in Yorewape.
Yeah.
Blessed is that man that maketh Yorewape his trust,
That's right.
and respecteth not the proud,
Wow. Why?
nor such as turn aside to lies.
Wow. Verse 5.
Many, O Yorewape, my Elohim,
Uh-huh.
are thy wonderful works which thou hast done,
Uh-huh.
and thy thoughts which are to us word.
Uh-huh.
They cannot be reckoned up in order unto thee.
Uh-huh.
If I would declare and speak of them, they are more than can be numbered.
Wow. What?
Sacrifice and
Uh-huh.
offering thou didst not desire.
Uh-huh.
Mine ears hast thou opened. Burnt offering and sin offering hast thou not required.
I want you to keep that word in mind. Sin. Verse 7, please.
Then said I, Lo, I come. In volume of the book
I
it is
come.
written of me.
No. Read verse 7 again.
Then said I,
Lo,
Lo,
I come. In the volume of the book, it is written of me.
Yes.
Remember,
praise the Lord.
I delight to do thy will, O my Elohim. Yeah, thy law is written within my heart, and thy law is within my heart. I have preached righteousness in the great congregation. Lo, I have not refrained my lips, O Yodewafe. Thou knowest. I have not hid thy righteousness within my heart. I have declared thy faithfulness and thy salvation. I have not concealed thy loving kindness or hard with kindness, and thy truth from the great congregation. Withhold not thou thy tender mercies from Mem Yod, O Yodewafe. Let thy loving kindness, thy ahab and kindness, and thy truth continually preserve Mem. For innumerable evils have compassed me about. My iniquities have taken hold upon Mem, so that I am not able to look up. They are more than the hairs of my head. Therefore, my heart faileth me. Be pleased, O Yodewafe, to deliver me. Mem. O Yodewafe, make haste to help me. Let them be ashamed and confounded together that seek after my soul to destroy it. Let them be driven backward and put to shame that wish me evil. Let them be desolate for a reward of their shame that say unto me, ha ha. Let all those that seek thee rejoice and be glad in thee. Let such as ahab thy salvation say continually, Yodewafe be magnified. But I am poor and needy, yet Mem Yodkaf Yodewafe thinketh upon me. Thou art my help and my deliverer. Read that last part, please.
Make no tarrying. Oh,
Thou
my
art,
Elohim.
read after the colon. It said, thou art.
Thou art my help and my deliverer.
Yeah, praise the Lord.
Praise
What else it says? And make what?
Make no tarrying, O my Elohim.
Praise the Lord. That was read for all those who it pertains to. Now, let us put Hay and Mem. You should be writing this down. Let us put Hay and Mem together. Hay and Mem. And what do you get? Put Hay and Mem together.
Him.
You have a not him. There's no wild M. I mean, no wild I. You just gonna put H and M together. I told you this is our music lesson today. You have the sound, right? As in you are humming with your mouth, right? With your mouth closed. As in, you know, you are humming, humming. Humming. Humming, right? Right. So with a U in humming. And you got HM, right? And then you put a U in humming. Right? You know, with ING. And since that is true, then now you have M with the U. Right? Remember, you have M with the U. Okay, now someone go to 2 Chronicles and to chapter 5. Because we're just about finished with this house. That is a metaphor and assembly of Solomon's house.
Wow.
Yes, we are. We almost finished with this house. Remember, we on a project. All right. So now you're going to read, beginning at verse 1. You're going to read verses 1 through what? 13. 1 through 13, 2 Chronicles chapter 5, as in hay. Right? Someone read that, please.
Thus, all the work that Solomon made for the house.
You can say Solomon.
Yeah.
Solomon made for the house of Yod-Heh-Waveh.
For the house of who?
Yod-Heh-Waveh.
Was what?
Was finished.
Okay.
And Solomon brought in all the things that David, his father, his father had dedicated.
And what else? They consist of what?
And the silver.
And what else?
And the gold.
And what else?
And all the instruments.
Instruments? What kind of instruments do you think these are? Musical instruments. Musical. He did what?
Put he among the treasures of the house of Elohim.
See, the house of Yod-Heh-Waveh.
Yod-Heh-Waveh.
Okay. Verse 2.
Then Solomon assembled the elders of Israel.
And now Solomon is one greater than Solomon is here today.
That's right.
And he's doing the same thing that Solomon did. Assemble the elders of Israel. And how many? And who else? He's going to do this too. And who else?
And all the heads of the tribes. The chief of the fathers of the children of Israel.
Unto who?
Unto Jerusalem.
To do what?
To bring up the ark of the covenant of Yod-Heh-Waveh out of the city of David.
Right.
Which is Zion.
Okay, of the lion. Now, the ark of the covenant is here too. We're bringing the ark of the covenant up. We're bringing it up. Verse 3, please.
Therefore, all the men.
No. Read what's there now.
Wherefore all the men of Israel,
How many of them were there?
all the men,
They did what?
assembled themselves unto the king in the feast, which was in the 7th month.
That's the Feast of Tabernacles. I told you, get ready for September. The 7th month. See, that's the covenant.
Yes, it is.
The tabernacle, the covenant, the tabernacle is the covenant. I told you, the ark is here too. That's the ark. The ark of the tabernacle, the covenant is here. That you're going to feast in the 7th month. And what happens in verse 4?
And all the elders of Israel came.
How many came back then?
Oh.
And who else was with them?
And the Levites took up
That
the
tribe
ark.
too? So we have Levi here today too. Levi. They took up the ark. And what they did with it?
And they brought up the ark
Uh-huh.
at the tabernacle of the
See,
congregation.
there it is, tabernacle.
And all the holy vessels that were in the tabernacle.
Uh-huh.
These did the priests and the Levites bring up.
Wow. Also, what happened in verse 6?
Also, King Solomon and all the congregation of Israel that were assembled unto him before the ark sacrificed sheep and oxen, which could not be told nor numbered for multitude.
Good. That had to be a lot, isn't it? Verse 7, please.
And the priest brought in the ark of the covenant of Yod-Heh-Wah-Beh unto his place,
Mm-hmm. And do what?
to the oracle of the house, and to the most holy place, even under the wings of the cherubims.
Got that right. Go ahead.
For the
The
cherubims,
wings of cherubim here today too.
Yes.
Verse 8, please.
for the cherubims spread forth their wings over the place of the ark.
And they do it every night. You can look and see. All night. Right.
And the cherubims covered the ark and the staves thereof above.
See? Above. And they what?
And they drew out the staves of the ark,
Uh-huh.
that the ends of the staves were seen from the ark before the oracle,
You can see them.
but they were not seen without.
Uh-huh.
And there it is unto this day.
And to this day and night. Verse 10, please.
There was nothing in the ark save the 2 tables which Moshe put therein at Horeb,
Uh-huh.
when Yod-Heh-Wah-Beh made a covenant with the children of Israel, when they came out of Egypt.
And so it is to this day. Read verse 11, please.
And it came to pass,
It came to pass that what?
when the priests were come out of the holy place,
Uh-huh.
for all the priests that were present were sanctified, and did not then wait by course. Also the Levites, which were the singers,
They were the what?
the singers,
Oh, they have singers there. The Levites were the singers. Oh. So who's going to sing today? Remember, the Levites are not the priesthood anymore. Our Elohim, your Elohim sprang out of Yehuda.
Yeah, he did.
Which tribe Moshe spake nothing concerning the priesthood. Read the next one, please. Next sentence.
all of them of Asaph,
Uh-huh.
of Himon,
Uh-huh.
of Jutun,
Uh-huh.
with their sons and their brethren, being arrayed in white linen,
In white linen. Having what?
having symbols.
I got to get some symbols. I'm getting symbols, a whole set. And what else?
and psalteries
And what?
and harps
Get your instruments ready. They stood where?
at the east end of the altar,
Uh-huh.
and with them 120 priests sounding with
Ooh,
trumpets.
could you imagine how that sounded?
Wow.
Huh? And 120 with trumpets? Wow. And what happened in verse 13, please? The final verse.
It came even to pass,
What?
as the trumpeters and singers were as one,
As what?
as one.
Imagine the sound.
That's right.
Singing over the trumpets. And the trumpets singing, playing with the singers. What?
To make one sound to be heard.
To make, wait, now hold it now. Good gracious. To make what?
One
sound. No matter what tone you have, it's one sound. To what?
To be heard in praising and thanking Yod-Heh Wav-Heh.
That's gracious. How about that? And what?
And when they lifted up their voice,
They lift up their voices. You got to sing out loud. They lift up their voices with what?
with the trumpets
Uh-huh.
and cymbals
Uh-huh.
and instruments of music,
Uh-huh.
and praise Yod-Heh Wav-Heh, saying, for he is good,
Yes.
for his mercy endured forever.
Yes.
That then the house was filled with a cloud,
What?
even the house of Yod-Heh Wav-Heh.
So I mean you can bring a cloud with your singing. No telling what's gonna be in that cloud. Praise the Wav-Heh.
Praise Yod-Heh Wav-Heh.
We also want you to notice that in verse 13 and 13 is found a word that ye think is spelled wrong. I repeat, in verse 13, you who were reading and came across a word in verse 13 that you probably thought is spelled wrong in print. No. No. You hear me? No. This word is not spelled wrong. It is a message for today that was translated and then printed in codex. Excuse me, I said it is a message for today that was originally handwritten in Hebrew and then later translated into English and now printed in the Bible in codex. And here's the revelation. See, with that revelation, now you're going to do a writing exercise and you're going to write down the word. Yes, you guessed it. Music. Did you see in verse 13 of 2 Chronicles? What chapter is it?
5.
5.
Hey.
Right? So write down music as M-U-S-I-C-K, just like that. Music. Music. You think it's music. Ain't no music. It's music. It's a code. It's codex.
Right.
It's a revelation that I hid so I can tell you today what it means. See, this English word came from the original Hebrew word that's spelled from right to left. Shin, Yod, Resh. Shin, Yod, Resh. And this is what Shin looks like in Hebrew, in the East. Shin, Yod, Resh. Pronounce in English, sure. You know, sure like her, but sure. See, with S in front of her, you got sure. And this sure, it means to sing a song. It also means song by itself. It means sing by itself. Or sing a song. Here your reference is 2. Strong's H, 7891 and H 7892. When you go there in your Strong's Concordance and study this, you'll see it means song and sing, or sing a song. Now, this Hebrew word also hid, H-I-D, in secret 4 parables, 4 that my soul spoke to ye of over 2,023 years ago. Your very souls. It was a parable, a spoken parable. So turn to Matthew chapter 13. Check out Matthew chapter 13. How about that? Matthew chapter 13. And follow along with me, but ma'am, as I read, begin at verse 24. You got it? Matthew chapter 13. I'm going to release and reveal the parables. I promise you, my soul promised you that I would. These people call themselves Christians and reading the Bible in church. Sometimes they don't read it. They can't read it today, though. I think the churches are closed. Huh?
Yes.
But they've been reading the Bible, huh? In the New Testament. And when they come across scriptures like this, as I quote verbatim, that Jesus gave his disciples a parable. Then he promised that when he come back, he's going to reveal the parable. They don't even think about if he come back or not, or if he came back or not.
Right.
Most of them are waiting for him to come back on the street corner in all the major cities across this nation, the United States. They're also looking for a white boy, the blonde hair, blue eyes, aren't they? Most of them. They're looking for a white boy with blonde hair and blue eyes. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I had a picture on here somewhere. Anyway, I'm going to read beginning at verse 24. As I quote, another parable put he forth unto them. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. They're looking for him. Yes, they are. They're looking for, since he gave, they're looking for him, since he gave a parable, then why don't he come back and reveal it?
Right.
What white man do you know came back and revealed these parables today?
Yeah.
Benny Hinn didn't do it. Oral Roberts, Billy Graham Cracker. I'm not being rude. They don't have graham crackers. Don't they sell graham crackers? Nabisco. And if Billy stood on the corner, if Billy was standing on the corner selling crackers, it'd be Billy Graham crackers, right? I'm not being rude. But I haven't heard or known of any white boy that came back and revealed any parables from the book called Matthew, especially Matthew. Let's not even speak of the book called Revelation. No, he shortened no days, don't even know how shortened days, don't even know what that means. Why? Because while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also with the wheat. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, does not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then had they tares? Where they came from? Verse 28. He said unto them, an enemy had done this. I didn't do it. An enemy hath done this. But the servant said to him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? Uh-oh. Now they want to go get the enemy. But he said, nay, no. That's why you gather up the tares, you root up also the wheat with them. You don't know who they are. Let me handle it. Let me, Mem handle it. I'll handle it. You don't know who they are. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them.
Mm.
But gather the wheat unto my barn. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field, which indeed is the least of all seeds. But when it's grown, it is the greatest among herbs, and becometh a tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof. Another parable, that's the second parable. Here's another parable, the third parable spake unto them. The kingdom of heaven, you know what I mean, is like unto leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal for a penny, till the whole was leavened. All these things spake Membiot unto the multitude in parables, and without a parable spake he not unto them, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world. And now I'm about to do it. Let's see if I qualify. Let's go to where scripture is read in the Old Testament in part 1. Turn to the book called Psalms again. Psalm chapter 78. And follow along with me as I read verses 1 through 8. Psalm chapter 78. As I also at this time ask this whole planet, and those who watch this video, you who are here with me at the round table in Miami, Florida, and in the house, this house, give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old, which we have heard and known, and your fathers, your Arbs, have told us. We will not hide them from their children, shewing to the generation to come the praises of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh and his strength and his wonderful works that he hath done. For he has established a testimony in Yaakov and appointed a law in Yishmael Yahweh, which he commanded our Arbs, that they should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know them which is now here, even the children which should be born. Who should arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, and not forget the works of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, but keep his commandments, and might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that has set not their heart aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. That's verse 8. Now, with that said, read, Here is the mystery of a few parables, but only one for today that's related to this word. I'm going to continue more later, but for today, I'm going to give you the mystery of the parable of the word that you just wrote down, known as music. Music, M-U-S-I-C-K in English. So here it is as follows. First of all of you have been hearing me say lately, especially for a few weeks now, you've heard me say, you, Y-O-U, make me sick. Right?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, you heard me say, you make me sick.
Yep.
Yeah. As you know it, you make me sick. Well, it was not mem in Hebrew that was talking to ye. See, to ye of the Sesselage. But rather, it was the M of their 26 alphabets, among their 26 alphabets, which is number 13 of their English alphabets too, M. It was M among the alphabets that is affixed next to their vowel U that was making the suffix sick, S-I-C-K. I said it was M that was affixed next to the U, to you, that was put right next to the suffix sick, S-I-C-K, that was making, that you thought making me sick. I said, you make me sick. At the same time, you were making music. Music. Of that word that you read here in 2 Chronicles chapter 5, verse 13. So you read it. You read it as M-U-S-I-C-K, music. Keep in mind that this word is found printed 16 times in the King James Version of the Bible. And you did not read M-U-S-I-C without cough. Your cough is here at the end. Okay. Why? Well, here's wisdom. Here is the wisdom that was hidden in a parable that they left out by murdering it. They murdered it. Here's wisdom. Listen now. Hear this. First thing I said, we give ear. Remember the Psalms? So I can reveal the parables? Okay. Of all the instruments, all of them, that they placed in transliteration in the King James Version of the Bible and other Bibles, they left out the drums.
Oh, wow. Right.
You or ye will not find the noun drum, D-R-U-M, in the Bible. In the King James Version, you will not find drum in singular or plural as drums. Neither will you find the person who plays it as a drummer.
Wow.
Why? Because they murdered the drums. Get it? In plural, they murdered the drums. In singular, they murdered the drum. They murdered the drum and caused blood, B-L-O-O-D, to come from the drum. And we all know that blood is red in color, right? R-E-D, right? As in the red R-E-D of blood, right? Okay, now someone turn to 2 Kings. 2 Kings chapter 3. And read beginning at verse 20. 2 Kings chapter 3, as of the third day, 3. And read begin at verse 20.
Quote,
Uh-huh.
and it came to pass in the morning
Uh-huh.
when the meat offering was offered, that, behold, there came water by the way of Edom.
Now see, all of a sudden, someone who's the power over water came and dominated the meat. And it came by way of the red people. Red. Edom means red.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? In the country,
And the country was filled with water.
this water came and dominated Edom, the red. And verse 21, please.
And when all the Moabites
Moabites.
heard that the kings were come up to fight against them,
Uh-huh.
they gathered all that were able to put on armor,
Mm-hmm.
and upward, and stood in the border.
Mm-hmm. Read on. Verse 22.
And they rose up early in the morning.
How late was it?
Early.
Oh, it was early. It was early. They rose up early in the morning, and what happened?
And the sun shone upon the water.
Now see, they got S-U-N there. But they also have Sheen standing next to one. You think it's Sean. You see
Wow. Yeah.
it? Sheen stood with one that was up on the water. And the Moabites what?
And the Moabites saw the water on the other side as red as blood.
Ooh, holy, good gracious. As what? Read that again, please. As what?
As red as blood.
Wow. Hold on. This, hear this out. This is the only verse in the entire King James Version Holy Bible where it identifies or describes blood as being a specific color. And this color is red, R-E-D. You got that?
Yes, sir.
Now read verses 23 and 24. Keep that in mind now. Read verses 23 and 24, please. How about y'all?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
And they said,
What they said? Tell me, I can't wait to hear this. What they said?
this is blood.
How come they didn't know that by looking at the color? Oh, because they may have thought it was paint? Well, I mean, it wasn't paint like that, was it? And what? This is blood. And what happened?
The kings are surely slain,
Oh, that was, yeah. Uh-huh.
and they have smitten one another. Now, therefore, Moab to the spoil.
Uh-oh. Read verse 24.
And when they came to the camp of Israel,
What they did, they better think about it. You better think about it.
the Israelites rose up and smote the Moabites.
See what happened? They tried to go kill the Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
The Moabites. You're picking on the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
You see what the Israelites did? They rose up too. You thought they would go ambush them and catch them while they were sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
like the Yankees did Pearl Harbor. Oh no, not the Israelites. So what they did?
So that they fled before them.
Uh-huh.
But they went forward, smiting the Moabites.
See, they even tried to run from them, but they chased them and ran them down. Even what?
Even in their country.
See, I ain't make it up. There it is right there. They chased them into their own country and killed them.
Mhm.
Praise
Praise
you.
Yahweh.
Praise
Praise
the
the
Lord.
Lord.
You better think about it before you come up to Israelites. Devils, all you devils, you better think about it. Turn to Psalm chapter 10 now. Psalm chapter 10. Let me ask you a question. Now I'm going to have somebody, you read that, Zephaniah.
Yes, sir.
See, you're going to read for those who are wondering what happened to Og. Where is Yahweh? They said, even like, where is Yahweh, been Yahweh? From May 7, 2007. Here we are again in the month called May, 2020. 13 years later. Where is Yahweh, been Yahweh? 13 years later. The same photo image that you see over my left shoulder, as I always have it, And to the right of the screen, as you're watching the monitor, look at the monitor, you see a name right there affixed to the road in white, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. You do not see Yahweh ben Yahweh on that road. Still, where is Yahweh ben Yahweh? But read verse 1. Psalm chapter 10, begin at verse 1, please.
Why standest thou afar off, O Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh?
See what they're asking? Read on, what?
Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble?
See, they wonder where he is. And you know this is times of trouble, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Just in times, plural, of trouble. Read verse 2. Why? Read verse 2. Look who they are.
The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor.
Uh-huh.
Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
You got that right. And all those who imagine it now on social media, they're going to be taken away by the same devices. Read who they are, verse 3. Read some more of the wicked people.
For the wicked boasted of his heart's desire.
That's right.
And blessed the covetous, whom Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh abhorreth.
See how you feel about it? Read verse 4, please.
The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh.
No, when I seek after Mem Yod Wav-Heh.
Yes, sir.
Why? Because Mem Yod Wav-Heh
Is
is not in all his thoughts.
thoughts.
They're not even thinking about Mem Yod Wav-Heh. Read verse 5.
His ways are always grievous.
That's
Thy judgments are far above out of his sight.
Mm-hmm.
As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
Check it out. Read some more.
He hath said in his heart,
What?
I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity.
You got it right. You got that right. You speaking for Mem Yod Wav-Heh right now. Read verse 7.
His mouth is full of cursing.
That's those who are seeking after, who should seek after him. They curse him out.
Mm-hmm.
And what?
And deceit and fraud.
Uh-huh.
Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
That's what they're doing. That's how they feel. That's where they are. Read verse 8, please.
He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
Uh-huh.
And the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
Did I tell you that drum was murdered? They murdered the drum. The innocent. What happened to his eyes?
His eyes are privately set against the poor.
You got that? That's what their eyes are doing. They look at them and hate them. Cut the eyes out of them too. See, here's that word known as murder. Again, M-U-R-D-E-R. Right?
Yes, sir.
There it is again. This murder also affected the little drummer boy. I told you before we got started that they murdered the drum. They have all instruments in the Bible except the drum.
Mm-hmm.
That's because they murdered the drummer boy.
Mm-hmm.
The little drummer boy. And then they turn around and make a song out of that for their pagan holiday known as Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And you think that's a good thing. A rumpa-bum-bum. Rumpa-bum-bum. Listen to the lyrics of that song and get the mystery.
Right, yeah.
Now go to 2 Kings chapter 19. As I reveal this, I'm revealing the parable. Did you know I'm revealing the parable?
Hold up.
I promise you I will reveal parables. They murdered the little drummer boy. 2 Kings chapter 19. Read verses 3 and 4, please.
Quote, and it came to pass when
You
King...
got 2 Kings chapter 19.
Oh, 3.
Start at verse 3. Yes, please. It's verse 3.
Okay.
Because of our schedule. We have a music lesson today. School started late.
I'll just like
It is Sunday. The Greeks call it and the Gentiles call it Sunday school. This is the real Sunday school. Music. Now try verse 3 again, please.
All right, I apologize.
Okay. No.
And they said unto him, thus said Hezekiah.
Here's Hezekiah.
Yeah.
Here's Hezekiah.
Look at him.
You know, Hezekiah have to be here today because so Micah was there in the days of Hezekiah, king of Judah. So you know Hezekiah has to be here again today, right? Now what happened to Hezekiah? See, this day, read Hezekiah. What happened this day? What?
This day is a day of trouble.
Now you know Hezekiah is here,
Yes.
and he's also trouble. Right? So this is a day of trouble. And of what?
And of rebuke.
And what?
And blasphemy. For the children are come to the birth, and there is not strength to bring forth.
Now see, that birth is the woman in travail, who's paying to be delivering a child, according to Revelation chapter 12 and verses 1 and 2. But there's not enough strength behind him to bring forth this child to be delivered. This child is Judah, Yehuda. Remember the reapers.
Yes.
The harvest is ripe. The laborers are few. Not enough strength. Read verse 4, please.
It may be
Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh.
thy Elohim, will hear all the words of Rabshakeh, whom the king of Assyria, his master, have sent to reproach the living Elohim.
What? Really? In that sense, a lot of nerve to reproach the living Elohim. And will do what?
And will reprove the words which Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, thy Elohim, hath heard. Wherefore lift up thy prayer for the remnant that are left.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the
Lord.
The subject now here is reprove. You got it? Reprove. Now turn with me to John chapter 16. And I'll read beginning at verse 7. Reprove. Reprove what? Well, who? The world. And reprove the words. Reprove. You got it? You got John chapter 16? Okay. Read with me, begin at verse 7, as I say, nevertheless, I tell you the truth. I tell you the truth. It was expedient for you that I went away. For if I had not gone away, the Comforter would not have come unto you today. And if I departed as I did, I will send him unto you himself. He will come right back. You will know who he is. And when he has come, when I'm come, he will reprove the world of sin. No one did this in the history of the world. Who do you think was speaking here? Your that they are still calling Yahweh, Ben Yahweh, did not reprove the world of sin and of righteousness and of judgment. Verse 9 of sin. Why? Because they believe not on me. They all believe my Yahweh, Ben Yahweh, but they don't believe on me. Who you thought was talking and speaking? Of righteousness, because I went to my Ab. And you see me no more. Even as I went to him in prison.
Right.
And they didn't see me no more. Why? Because I departed from them.
Yes.
Of judgment, because the prince of this world is now being judged.
Yes.
Even in Washington District of Columbia.
Yes.
I had yet many things to say to you back then, but you couldn't bear them then. Some cannot bear it now, but I'm going to reveal them. The parables. Why? To fulfill verse 13. 13 as in mem.
Yes.
For howbeit, when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, not shall come. There it is right there fulfilled.
Yes,
I repeat. Why do you think it was printed that way? And not shall come. How be it when he, the Spirit of truth, is come. You'll be able to see it today. He's come. And I will guide you into all truth. For I shall not speak of myself, but whatsoever I'm told and what's written in my mind to write to you, and I read from a teleprompter, that shall I speak. And I will show you things to come. Praise the Lord.
Praise your name,
And right now, I'm showing you and speaking of things that I hear from my and I'm reading from a teleprompter, and not on my own. Now, with that said, here's a few to reprove. Beginning with sin. S-I-N. They murdered Shin. When they murdered Shin, they murdered the little drummer boy that also killed his drum.
Yes.
I repeat, they murdered Shin. That's why Shin remains in the east. And when they murdered Shin, it left them with only sin. They murdered Shin. And as they murdered Shin, they took sin into captivity and brought him over to the west. He became sin. And they also murdered the drum. The little drummer boy that also killed his drum. In fact, remember, every musical instrument is mentioned in the book called Psalms, except the drum. Why? Again, because they murdered. They committed murder. Let's leave out the ED. They committed murder. M-U-R-D-E-R. They committed murder. And they created also backward a red rum. On the drum, D-R-U-M. They committed murder on the drum, D-R-U-M. So now, today, I am going to reiterate. I'm going to reiterate, I-T-R-A-T-E, the murder of the drum, by R-E, the drum, D-R-U-M, which is murder in reverse.
Oh, wow.
Or backward.
There it is. There it is.
Write it down and see.
There it is. Yes.
R-E-D-R-U-M.
Yes.
It's murder backward. And now you have your drum back. The little drummer boy is back too, and I'm going to get my drum set and bring it right in this house and play the drums again.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, I have a drum set in the basket right now. Ludwig. I'm going to put drumsticks in the basket tonight. They probably get it before the drum so I can sharpen up a little bit more. Sharpen up. I'm a little rusty, but I'm going to sharpen up. And I'm going to play these drums in your sight. And I'm going to make you dance when you hear it.
Yes.
And I'm going to buy extra cymbals, and we're going to play the drums, and you're going to sing a new song behind the drum.
Yes. Yes.
See, I left Shin in the east. I left Shin in the east. You got it? All right. So now here is sin in the west. S-I-N. I said I'm going to prove the world of sin. This is our Hebrew character for sin. That created the English's letter S. Remember. This is sin. It created their S, right? Their S is the first letter of that word known as song. Their S is also the first letter of their word that's known as song, S-O-N-G. Right? Their S is also the first letter of the word known as son, S-O-N, without the G. You got that?
Yes.
Now, this son, S-O-N, has with him several angels that are of and from the celestial lodge of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, as well as a nation of celestial beings and children of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. As Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, the God of the Hebrews, Elohim of the Hebrews, and by supreme deity, or Elohim, is the head of them all. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh is the head deity of them all.
Yeah, the ball.
You got it? So you have Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. In other words, when you have Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, right? You have Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, the son, and the children of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Again, that means with this son, S-O-N, is the Trinity, or the three that are empowered by our third celestial character known as Gimel. You got it? Gimel. As our Gimel also created their seventh English alphabet, known world renowned as G. Right? Now, this G is found at the end of S-O-N. Son, when you put together, makes a song. Even a new song. Now here's your music lesson. Because in music, you have tone, T-O-N-E. Right? Mm-hmm. However, in tone, T-O-N-E, and in music, M-U-S-I-C, their G is also known as sol. Sol, S-O-L, sol. Your music lesson now. And is also known as so, S-O, which is also the fifth note of the fixed to solfege that starts on the C scale. You got to sing these now. The C scale, as in the C as in Charles. You got it? The C scale. Now, G is also the dominant and a perfect fifth, as in hey, 5, above C. As G, Gimel, is also known as a perfect fourth, below the C note. That fourth, of course, is Dalet, below the C note, Charles. And furthermore, when G is calculated in equal temperament, it becomes a reference of A as an olive. That is a song above the middle C as the 440, the 440 of the Yod Hey. That is symbolized as YH, that they hear in Psalm chapter 68, verse 4. I'm going to repeat that. Although it's recorded, you may have to rewind this. When G, as in that came from Gimel, is calculated in equal temperament, right? Mm-hmm. It becomes a reference of A, Aleph, the A note. A, that is song is sung above the middle C at the 440 of the Yod He, is symbolized as YH, which is the derived unit of frequency in the universal celestial system of units.
Wow.
Hold on now, you can follow this now. Yod He, Yod He, Wav He. The Yod He of Wav He is the derived unit of frequency in the universal celestial system of units, or what's called the UCS, which is defined as 1 cycle per second. As it reaches the ears of Mount Ab, Yud He Wav He, who sits above this planet, especially at night. That means your tone comes in clearer at night, the night frequencies, as it travels to his ears.
Wow.
Yes.
You got it?
That's why.
It's even clearer.
So,
No sun rays to block the frequency.
Right.
It's clear. You got that?
Yes.
That's why we start in the evening. In the dark.
Sundown to sundown.
Needless to say, this frequency was first discovered by a German European back in the 19th century, whose name was Heinrich Rudolf Hertz, who was a German physicist that conclusively proved the existence of the electromagnetic waves that were coming from spaceships, from space to the earth, that were being sang by Hebrew children of Yod He Wav He here on this planet with the son of Yod He Wav He, that they call Negro slaves today.
Yes. Right.
Especially with songs like Sweet Low, Sweet Cherry. And after his discovery, the great ancestor of Hertz Rental Car today, the Hertz Rental Car Company was now filed for Chapter 11. Mr. Hertz changed our UCS, that stands for Universal System Code, Universal Celestial System Code. He changed it to his Hertz, with abbreviations using HZ code, the HZ code, that he knew is the only frequency between Yehuda, the so-called Negro slaves, the 4th tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel, and their God, their Elohim, Yod He Wav He, that was shielded in the middle with the G of Gimel, to then become known as the G4 note in music. The G4 note, which is approximately 399.999 universal celestial system of 1 unit within our telepathic frequency.
Wow.
Per second. And because Hertz Rudolph discovered that, or should I say, because Mr. Hertz stuck his nose where he should not have, where he should not ought to have done that, but mind his own business, we took him out. We killed him out of the earth at the early age of only 36 years old in 1892. How did we do that? 1892. Oh, I was here then too.
Better believe it.
Better believe it. I may not have looked like this, but I was there. I may not have had this body, but I was there. How do we take him out? You should. Well, how, Mika Yahweh? How y'all took him out?
How do you take him out?
Just like we're doing today.
That's right.
we infected his brain with several severe migraines that's being caused by what they call the COVID-19. But it's now known as the 5G. It was back there then.
Yes.
And see, that caused him to undergo several operations back then. Even as the brain surgeons, that they call it today, tried to treat what doctors thought was just an ordinary illness. They weren't as scientific as they are today. Didn't know what it was. It sure wasn't no virus from China. Even as surgeons tried to treat that what they thought illness, in so much until they said that Mr. Hertz died of what they call, and I quote, granulomatosis. Granulomatosis with polyangiitis, end quote. Oh, I spell it for you because you may want to look it up. It's a medical term. I spell it. G-R like Gimel. See Gimel? Granulomatosis. Granulomatosis. With polyangiitis. Polyangiitis. Polyangiitis, which is of Germany. He was too of Germany, of Hamburg. And now they're selling my people today hamburgers. That's made from their meat. Their meat brains. In the meantime, back to this frequency now. We got to go back to this frequency of 440. See 440? Okay. When ye add 100, HUNDRED, that they dread, that great and dreadful day when Ab come. When you add 100, I didn't say 100. I say when you add 100 to the 440, that is of the Yod, Y-O-D, and the Hey, H-E-A, H-E-Y, they're symbolized as Y-H, Yod, Hey. Then you have the mystery of the prophetic cryptogram that was sealed in the book called Revelation, chapter 14 and verses 1 through 5. Turn to that. I said, when you go back to this frequency of 440. I don't know where in hell they get 144,000 from. But when you add the frequency that you have in your voice, your vocal cord, of the 440, thou sand, thou sand, then you get to the 4,400, the 440, add to the Yud and Hey, the Yod and Hey, symbolizes Yod Hey. Someone please read Revelation chapter 14 and verse 1 first. We're going to read 5 verses. So read it. I told you I'm going to reveal a parable.
And I looked.
You did what?
And I looked. And lo, a lamb stood on Mount Zion.
Stop. Hold it.
Amen.
Take a look at that. I don't see the lamb. I see a lamb. The same A that's at the beginning. I mentioned before of the musical note. Stood on not stood on Mount. Show me your Bible says stood on Mount Sinai. I don't see Mount Sinai either.
No.
I don't even see on Mount Zion.
No.
I don't see Z there either.
It's an S.
I have an S in my Bible. And I see on the mount. See, that the is very important. That the is identifying who that lamb is. That's on his government. See, that's S-I-O-N. Now, write it down and remove the I. And now you have son. That's the same I that's on top, but they put in the pyramid dollar bill. And that pyramid represents the mount. That was such a large.
Yeah.
Even spaceships are shaped like triangles. Now that we have straightened that out, that parable, and you know it's not Sion, it's son. The mount of the sun, the government of the sun. This son, S-O-N, is part of the Gimel. Excuse me? I said this son, S-O-N, is part of the Gimel that created their seventh letter known as G. Although our seventh letter is known as Zion. Right? So why is he sitting or standing on Mount Zion? Because he's supposed to be on Sion without the I. To create son. To be created with Gimel. And when you put Gimel with son, you got the song. And that Gimel created the G, which is the third part of that, all that shall come through this fire. That is now upon this planet. The third. See, Gimel, the third. That's the third Hebrew character. That's the third part. That shall come through the fire. As two parts are now being cut off as I speak and will eventually die. Reference Zechariah chapter 13, verses 8 and 9. And now I'm going through the fire. You think this fire is something? Wait till June 14th. Now, remember, let's go back to the music. This Gimel that creates the G4 note, there's also with Shiloh today that is gathering Judah along with the sun, S-O-N, they're now standing in the front of the Gimel, G-I-M-E-L for G, Gimel, and our Ab, Yod Wavhe, that stands as one in front of them all. That also created the English word that ye only knew and still know today as song, S-O-N-G. Right? Now you know the new song. You think it's just a song. That's the sun standing with Gimel. The G note. The G4.
Oh, yep. That's why they got
Do you see it? And if you cannot see the song, which is new, then that's because you are still caught up in their music. M-U-S-I-C, which is dead. And filled with sin, S-I-N. And is being sang, S-A-N-G, and heard without the 4G or the G4. Like rap music today. That's without the G4 or the 4G. They also took on the 5G or the G5.
got it.
That's killing the people on this planet today that they are calling, quote, COVID-19 of last year, and now all of a sudden this year, COVID-20. This year, it's research. It hadn't gone in place. They're deceiving you, telling you to open up your governments back up, open your states back up. They're killing you. I told you, I'm going to say it again on recording. It's recording. This plague is like a mosquito to the flesh with blood. I just gave you blood. It waits for people to come out to kill it, to kill them. This plague is like a mosquito. I'm telling you, a mosquito that's going after blood. And when the people come out, the mosquitoes start feeding on their blood. It's going to kill them. Or what part of your world is coming to an end that you don't understand? Your world is coming to an end. This is it, the last days. Not even realizing that when you add the G at the end of their sin, S-I-N, then they too can join in with us and sing S-I-N-G. Right? And should that be the case, then they too would become part of the rest of verse 1 of Revelation chapter 14. So read the rest of that and see for yourself. And you see if they come out of that rap stuff and come out of sin and join the G at the end, then they can sing. Read it. And with what?
And with him 144,000.
Where did they get 144,000 from? I don't see that here. I see 100. I see 100. I see the 40. And I see the 4 in front of that for the 440 of thou sand. As many as thou sand. The sand of the ocean, of the sea. Having what?
Having his father's name written in their foreheads.
That's written in their foreheads. You have to know what the father's name is. I'm writing in the foreheads.
That's right.
Which is a musical note. You don't know that because no one knew it. It was sealed. How do you know what the new song is? Now you know everybody knows Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh or Yahweh, but did you know what the name that's written in their forehead? In the soul. You got to have that note, that tone. And here is what Mr. Hurst did not know before he died. So pay attention, all of you who want to follow him, you physicists. The G4 frequency cannot be complete until the prophetic cryptogram is fulfilled. This one, I repeat, the G4 frequency cannot be complete until this prophetical cryptogram is fulfilled in Revelation. And that can only happen when this Lamb comes into existence in the final days of this world and be revealed. And then he will loose the seal that hid Teth. He will reveal and loose the seal that sealed Teth. This is Teth. You got it? You see it? Teth. Now, who is Teth? You should want to know. Who is that? Oh, what is that?
Right.
Look at Teth very good. Again, look at it again. Is it not safe to say that Teth is the Hebrew symbol that is shaped like their vowel known as U?
It is.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
And not only that, but Teth is also the ninth celestial Hebrew character of our celestial lodge. And this Teth also created the ninth music chord of all music. Did you hear it? Teth created the ninth music chord of all music. In other words, in music theory, a ninth chord is a chord that encompasses the interval of a ninth note chord when arranged in close position with the root and the bass. You got to study this because you got to sing it. What does it mean, Mika Yahweh? Okay, here's what it means. It means that the ninth chord and its inversions exist today as they did not exist before. How and why? Well, because I have returned to bring the ninth chord into its final chapter of existence in care of this world and the end of this world. This world is coming to its end. Even as I teach all of my pupils so they can see and hear and sing. But did you not know that a student is also called a pupil?
Yes.
Well, do you know that your eyes have pupils? And so my pupils can sing this new song that will easily find literature of each note to be in fine and complete tone. This means that it is also necessary to set up special laws for this treatment of the ninth chord. And if one wants to be careful and learn to sing with me, then one will be able to use the laws that pertain to the seventh chords. And that is dissonances that we saw by step downward. The dissonances. Dissonances. You got it? DISSONANCES. What does that mean? That means the lack of harmony among musical notes. So you have to keep it harmony. Remember, I showed you the clip of that the other night, last night, with Bonnie Fife. We cannot have a Bonnie Fife among our chorus. And we are not going to lip sync. We are not going to lip sync for you, right, Andy? Sheriff Taylor? So therefore, you have to step down, and the root will leap to a fourth upward. Keep in mind that there is a difference between a major ninth chord and a dominant ninth chord. You got to study that. I say there's a difference between a major ninth chord and a dominant ninth chord. Now this is nine, right? Like September. In other words, a dominant ninth chord, CHORD, is the combination of a dominant chord with a minor seventh chord and a major ninth, opposed to a major ninth chord, for example, the CMAG9 or J9, the CM to capital C, lowercase MAJ9 in music. I'm talking music now. The musicians know what I'm speaking of. As an extended chord. All artists and musicians know and can relate to what I'm saying now, speaking their language. And this extended chord adds the major seventh along with the ninth to the major triad, TRIAD, triad. Thus, a CMAG, a capital C, lowercase MAJ, ninth chord consists of C, E, G, B, and D. And it would sound like Now when the symbol 9 is not preceded by the word major or MAJ, lowercase j, for example, it just has the C9 and not MAJ, then the chord is a dominant ninth. And that is, the implied seventh chord is a dominant seventh. That is a major triad plus a minor seventh, to which the ninth is added. For example, a C9 consists of C, E, G, B flat, and D to become of the ninth. That means C dominant ninth will usually be expected to resolve to an F major chord, which is the implied key of the C being the dominant of F. Music class. The ninth is commonly chromatically altered by half step, either up or down, to create more tension and dissonance. Like da 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 da, ba 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 ba. Fetis, thus tune the chord of 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. To the common practice period that brings the root to be the third, seventh, and ninth, which are the most common factors present in the V9 or the big nine, the back nine chord, with the fifth typically omitted. And the ninth and seventh usually revolve or resolves downward to the fifth and third of I. And throughout the years, there were several musical artists that came along and used the ninth and seventh chords that usually resolve downward to the fifth and third of the I. I'm going to repeat that because you're going to be shocked to find out who. I said, throughout the years, there were several musical artists, both European and African American, or what they call African American, or Judah, that came along and used the ninth and seventh chords that usually resolve downward to the fifth and third of the I. For example, of the tonic dominant for the chords on your level of the white folks and their singers would be a fellow by the name of Bobby Gentry's song that was called, it's called, quote, Ode to Billy Joe, end quote. And a group by the name of Wild Cherries that they played, that's play that funky music, end quote, white boy. They used the same chord. And on the other side, among Judah, was a Hebrew Israelite that was known, world-renowned as, quote, James Brown, end quote, who used the ninth and seventh chords to make them go downward to the fifth and third of the I, as he sang the song known as, quote, I Gotcha, I Feel Good, end quote. I feel good. Da, 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 da. And that featured a striking dominant ninth archipelago, as well as the arpeggio that played staccato at the end of the opening with a 12-bar sequence. Now, Maceo, if he's still alive, you know what I'm speaking of, right? Blow your horn, Maceo. As well as the opening phrase of Chopin's well-known musical known as, quote, Minute Waltz, end quote, that climaxes on a dominant ninth chord, just to name a few. But none of them knew or know what the new song is of prophecy. Only the Lamb know.
That's it.
They're standing on the mount with 44, with 440. Especially that was sealed in Revelation chapter 14. And now, what this new song is none of your business. Those who watch it on YouTube or social media, Facebook. But you know what this new song is. If you want to know, then you must be the one, O-N-E, with the ninth chord that is empowered with the teth that created their T. Did you hear it? There's only one who knew, in other words, what this new song is. Only one. And this one, O-N-E, is with the ninth chord. Came out the ninth month of their calendar. That's empowered. And as he came out the womb in the ninth month, he was empowered with teth that created their T. And when you place their T in front of this one, O-N-E, then you get a particular tone, T-O-N-E. And with the Y added for yod, remember the Y? Do we keep the Y? When you add the Y that was created from yod to the end of tone, which is the same as in the beginning, from right to left, then you get the name known as Tony. T-O-N-E-Y. Also known as Tony, T-O-N-Y. And I have that new song. Thereby, I was also called Tony from birth. How is that? But I've been called Tony by my mother, from the mother's womb. Yeah, from my mother's womb, I've been called Tony. And that name is not on my birth certificate. So what did she know that she did not tell a lot of people? I'm sure an angel came to her and told her a lot of things. And she sat down, maybe on a bus, and was speaking to someone, didn't even know he was an angel. To fulfill Hebrews chapter 13, verse 2. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. And this man probably told her while she was pregnant that baby you have in your womb is going to be a musical instrument player. And he have a lot of tone in his soul. So she came along after he was born and called him Tony. And then watched him from age 14 playing the drums as a little drummer boy. And yet I'm still being called Tony to this day. From that day to this day, as I came out of her womb in Miami, Florida. And with Tony are all the musical instruments and tones and notes that were hidden in this seventh seal of Revelation chapter 14 and verse 2. Read and see for yourself. Read verse 2 now. See for yourself. The result of this tone, T-O-N-E, knee, with the wild yo, Tony. Yeah, Tony. Read verse 2.
And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters.
See that? Now you hear the voice. I'm the voice of many waters.
Yes,
As what?
and as the voice of great thunder.
That's one voice, not voices. What and what else?
And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps.
This one voice told the others how to sing. Like a musical director, a chorus director. And what happened to verse 3?
And they sung, as it were, a new song before the throne.
Read on.
And before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
I still do. I see 144,000. I see the 144,000. The 440. Read verse 4. Read verse 4 and 5, please.
These are they which were not defiled with women.
You got that?
For they are virgins.
Right. That means they are not going to be messed with any other gods or man. They return to the marriage supper of the Lamb. What else?
These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth.
You got it? And these are what?
These were redeemed from among men.
They're right here among you. Being what?
Being the first fruits unto Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh and to the Lamb.
That's right. Fulfilling Micah chapter 7, verse 1. The first ripe fruit. And read verse 5 finally, please.
And in their mouth was found no guile.
Right.
For they are without fault before the throne of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the
Lord. Any questions? That's the end of our first lesson, musical lesson for today. We go because we got to go. Well, we're not going to sing our new song out of the view of YouTube and ears of the social medias, website, Facebook. This is going to be downloaded to Facebook, right? This means that if you want to learn this new song, you must come to Miami or Florida. And don't come visiting. You don't come to visit. If you do, if you visit and leave, you may not come back.
Right.
So come and meet the Son, S-O-N, of the G and the 4. Even if they tried to hide the song S-O-N-G in Revelation chapter 14, verse 3, by adding the U to become a past tense, to create it the song, S-U-N with the G, the S-U-N with the G, like song. That's if it had already happened. They did that to make you think it happened already. Well, it not. Not until now. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
You mean there are no questions? Then, if there are no questions, then bye.